Well, speaking of hair, there was that incident on Cucurella where he had his hair pulled, but apparently that's not a foul. So
that's not. And the thing about that is that Anthony Taylor, who I don't really rate, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the worst referee, but I don't think he's very good either. He's right there. So, okay, maybe he's got his eye on the corner that was obviously taken from over there.
Yeah.
But they're literally like where I am to you, this is where Romero is to put his hair. And like you said, he's on a yellow card.
Yeah.
So this is a red.
Yeah.
It's a free kick for Chelsea. Chelsea win the game easily. Romero misses the next game in the league. I mean, this is...
reasons to be unhappy for the Chelsea persuasion. And worse still is I think it went to the video. So if somebody's at Stockley Park and they're looking at the video of somebody having their hair pulled and they're like, well...
But they can only give it if it's a straight red. That's why...
is that right?
Yeah. That's why they... So they can say to the ref, you have to go back and give a red card. But if it's anything else, like just a free kick, they can't give it. Just a yellow card, they can't give it, even if that means a red card. Yeah. Has to be a straight red.
So that's the problem with the laws, in my opinion, then.
Or VAR, or the use of VAR, or there could be a line somewhere with VAR saying in those kind of circumstances where that's got such a big impact on what's happening on the game, maybe you can just alert the referee and say, listen, go and have a look, and you can give a free kick, and that'll be fine. I don't know.
Do you know, for all the like football purists out there, and you'll know this because you know you watch a lot of European football and have done for a long time. As I saw the goal back, I looked at the in-swinging left foot cross from the set piece, and I was like, who got the assist there? It was Perisic, wasn't it? Just casually went over, so I'm just gonna whip this in with my left, sometimes with my right. Like,
did you see? Yeah, because you see the free kick before from the other side, he takes it with his right.
Yeah, literally like that. That is crazy. Slept on class because it's a magnificent ball as well.
I know.
But yeah, what were we talking about? We're talking about those guys not being able to fight, being too tactical. But what did you think? Because you play fantasy football, don't you? What did you think about seeing Reece James playing in the back three instead of playing higher?
So I always kind of knew that Tuchel, especially in those games, would use this hybrid back four, back five. Because really, Reece James was at times a third centre back with Loftus-Cheek coming quite deep, and that was a back five. And I think James was the one with the license to come out of the line of five to go and press whoever gets the ball from Spurs, either Kane or Son, which he did really well until Richarlison came on. But at times he was also a normal right back with a back four. Loftus-Cheek would come inside, and especially to beat the Spurs press, Loftus-Cheek was always the one almost on his own. And I don't think that Spurs, because they tried to press, like man to man, could deal with it until Richarlison came on. So I don't mind the hybrid back four, back five. I think James is so clever and so good that he can easily do it. Okay, now I'm in the three, now I'm in the four. When I'm in the four, I'm like a pure right back. When I'm in the three, Loftus-Cheek is going to be there, and I'm tighter to Silva and Koulibaly, and that's no problem. I don't know how often they will do that, but I like the fact that Tuchel does that.
You sound like a man that's not got him in your fantasy football team.
No,
that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. Because to me, it's very stressful. Like when he scores the goal, it's like, you should have been there for the last 60 minutes. Please be that high every single week. That was real pain. So
that was different because Aspilicueta had come on.
Yeah.
So back then he was only a pure back five, and Reece James was really the right wing back. Before that, until Richarlison came on, what I love in that game, Ned, is that Richarlison comes on 54th, I think it was, because clearly Spurs were outsmarted, outplayed, could not get the ball to Kane. Could not do. There's the chance for Sessegnon because they caught Chelsea sleeping. But apart from that, they've got nothing. They can hardly do three passes together. Richarlison comes on, you got two up front, and Kane and Son a little bit behind, and then that brings you more power. He runs a lot. And then Tuchel, almost as soon as Richarlison comes on, Aspilicueta comes on, Loftus-Cheek is off, Reece James goes to wing, and then you go to a proper back five. I love when managers sort of respond to each other tactically like this. Yeah,
for sure. It was actually really good. And I thought, for Spurs, I think they took off Sessegnon and they put Davies just at left back. But Davies, I think, is a good player, but I think he gets exposed more so at left back. So then when Reece James is up against him directly, you can see Reece James wanted to be more on the front foot. Not necessarily saying that was the reason for the goal, but it sort of changes the mentality and that tactical switch as well. Because I thought Richarlison would be playing instead of one of the front three. Not getting put in. So if this is how they perceive him, then that is interesting.
The 4-4-2, you go 4-4-2 basically with him pretty much.
The only thing I say that felt a bit different though, I felt like it was Kane that was dropping off more than say Son. Right. So question to you, and this could be a really weird question, but like in say 3-4 years time, do you see Kane leading the line or playing more like an attacking midfielder like Rooney was?
It's a good point. I think his natural evolution might be to drop a bit more and play as a 10.
I think he prefers that. It looks like he prefers that, to be honest.
It looks like it, but then he must love scoring goals. And I think obviously, which is no brainer, but the deeper you are, the harder it would be then to be in the box to finish the chances that you might have started. I don't know.
Yeah.
But for me, I've said to you many times, for me, he's England's best number 9 and best number 10. There's not even a debate.
I'm so conflicted by it because I do see the goals he scored. He's technically one of the best finishers in the world. But then if a game, say like, if it was a different manager in that first half where Spurs don't get a ton of the ball, under other managers, I think he'd be coming deeper to just go and try and get touches and move the ball around and things like that. But because Conte is almost demanding that he stays up there, then he's having to do something which maybe I don't feel he, not necessarily wants to do, but I feel like he wants to be part of the game. And sometimes in the 9 position, as we've seen within football, you get the least amount of touches, don't you? And I don't think that necessarily
For
suits
example, the Højbjerg goal, before Cucurella and Jorginho make a mess of getting the ball back and on the sort of left-hand side of the box, it's him who switched the play. And I mean, I'm sure Haaland can do it maybe. I'm sure Darwin can do it. I'm sure Gabriel Jesus. But to see Kane with so much ease doing a switch like that, 50 yards across.
He enjoys that.
Like if he was, I don't know, Busquets or Fabinho, I don't know, or centre back.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, he's very, very good at that, to the point whereby I wonder if he gets more joy from that.
Yeah, maybe
as opposed to maybe looking for scraps to like try and find a finish. Because you can see there's this confliction when I'm watching football where I see a pass that's on, but know if I was on the field I wouldn't play it.
Yeah.
So when he gets it and you see someone's free on the far side, they're going to try and play that 50, 60 yard ball, or say there's potential for through ball, they're going to play it. And he's definitely that because he has the confidence and the ability to be able to do it. But yeah, I'm interested anyway. Do you think Richarlison's going to have a big part to play this season, or is he going to be just like this?
Yeah, just like this. And he might start, and you might have to rotate at some point anyway, because when Champions League starts at the beginning of September, which is only in 3 weeks' time, there are going to be so many games. So I think he can, but I don't think you can drop Kane really unless he's struggling with fitness or something like
which
that.
I doubt he's going to be allowed to be struggling.
And you can play, I guess you can play Richarlison wide for Kulusevski, for example, or
but Kulusevski's so good though.
I don't know.
Do you think, I'm now thinking, is it going to be Son that ends up missing out?
Nah, you can't drop Son.
Why
That's
not? Why not?
Son is too good. And, I still think that when you play, yesterday, and you were gutted because you're in your fantasy team, but
allegedly, he's maybe in my team, yeah.
But the problem is, if there's no space for him to run into, and if you press him and you're aggressive on him straight away, that's where he struggles. Yeah. Of course he does.
Listen, it was heartbreaking. It was a heartbreaking match. Let's just say that.
But we talked about the Spurs character, which I think is very important. When you don't play well, again, Kane himself said they deserve to lose. When you don't play well, but you fight until the last minute, Richarlison really, I think, helped them.
Yeah.
I don't think people in this country have spoken enough, and you spotted it as well, that Perisic, who basically gives the assist on the Kane goal because he takes the corner, but a minute before took the corner from the other side with his right foot, and then the other one with the left foot. I don't think many people in the Premier League era have seen players in the same game taking swinger with the 2 feet.
There's like Santi Cazorla that I can think of off the top of my head.
But I'm not sure if he did it even as often as Perisic.
No, you're probably right. And in some ways, it's very hard to defend against because you just don't know. Yeah. Like say whether you're defending corners, corners and free kicks, if you see a right footer go out to your left-hand side, you know it's an outswinger. So you end up being a little bit higher, closer to the 6-yard box because you know that's the way it's going to go. Yeah. But then if you see him go over there and he looks like he's going to do an outswinger, but then all of a sudden he's now in a position to do an in-swinger, and you're like, hold on a second, we're not set for this. What we're supposed to do here? Or worse still, as I'm sure some people will face throughout the season, when he's running at you, and he could literally go whichever way he wants and put in the same quality of ball. It's always easy when you know somebody prefers one side, so you try and take that away and you make them uncomfortable. But if he's comfortable going both ways, then it's going to be a tough spot for people to be in.
I think one of the evolutions we could see next year is, but to be fair, I thought about it 5 years ago and it hasn't happened. But I thought 5 years ago that by now, there would be far more players like Perisic or Cazorla, almost as good with the 2 feet. And I thought this was, it would naturally be the evolution of coaching, for example, or training, that you would teach 15-year-olds that their left foot or their right foot is as important as their strong foot, and that by now more people would be so comfortable right and left, which is not really the case.
No, I don't think it is. But I think the reason for that is because the players we're talking about, they're exceptional with both. I think there are some players who are really good with one and quite good with the other, but will always lean towards the one which they're really good with. Like, not to say it's different, or it is a bit different. Like Kevin De Bruyne with his left foot. Like I've seen him.
Yeah,
it's insane. But he doesn't take corners with it.
No, not to that point.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And again, he's a unicorn. But there'll be players who are comfortable using another foot, but they just don't have the bottle to be able to use it.
Maybe,
whereas for these guys, like, it's second nature.
Natural, the
ones where you ask them which foot today and they say they don't know.
Yeah, Dembele.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? If you don't know, what chance have I got trying to stop you if you don't know yourself?
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.